Welcome back to the Uncle Cyborg Show, where we talk about the biggest topics and our favorite things about video games while keeping it rated E for everyone. I probably did that backwards, but I'm Super Nolan Man, and joining me is Matthew Hot Dog Eater
Hello.
and the Hyrule King, Bo Mitchell.
Hey.
And today we are ranking the top 10 greatest video game OSTs of all time. OST, if you are unfamiliar, is original soundtrack. So if you're looking for the best licensed music in games, we will talk about Madden 2005 and Tony Hawk Underground another day. But today,
Maybe.
yeah, maybe we never make that video.
No, we will.
I mean, they're making my
Anyway.
list. Spoiler
I'm
alert:
kidding.
Madden
I'm just
2005 and
messing
Tony Hawk Underground are going to be my top two. But anyways, today we are each giving our top 3 for a total of 9, which means that for this top 10 list, it is going to be up to you, the viewers, to complete this list by commenting with your vote for the greatest video game OST of all time. To start with spots number 9 through 7, Matthew, how about you start us off?
All right. Took me a while to do this. I had a top 2. I tried to find a top 3 and it didn't work out. So then I did like a whole tournament bracket and all that stuff. And anyways, it ended up not working out. So I just chose third. So my third, mentioned a little earlier before we started recording, my third is Final Fantasy X.
All right. Yeah, I almost put it on my list. It's good.
I was looking at the
soundtrack.
other stuff and I was like, there's just too many good classics in this game. The
Certified
main
hood
theme,
classics.
the Tizanarkin, is still, in my opinion, one of the better,
Mhm.
I guess, main themes. The
Yeah, that's a good theme.
Mount Gagas, that's really good. Hymn of the Faith. It's got one of the best battle themes as well. It does a good job. Like the different areas that you're in all have kind of a unique arrangement, so it makes it feel like it's a really one-off kind of place rather than, sounds like it kind of sounds similar between the levels and whatnot. All around the board, I don't got too much to say outside of it's just really, really good.
I always love the Blitzball theme from that game. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
And
And a
as
fun time signature.
well, it has, if you get the HD version, you have the original, and then you have the new arrangement, and
Yeah.
they're both pretty good. Some people like one more than the other, or certain songs off one more, but yeah, they're all pretty solid. None of them are really annoying at all, and then several of them are like actually like really, really good. So I think it's a
some of the
solid place
greatest
for
in the
number
series.
3.
Yeah, I feel you there. I recognize a lot of Final Fantasy X tracks as someone who has played an entire 90 minutes of that 50+ hour game. So if they make their way to me, granted I play other Final Fantasy games, so naturally they're gonna kind of find their way over to me, especially playing 14 and a few of them getting added into there. But iconic soundtrack.
And side note,
Yeah.
Sony, there was a PlayStation 4 theme. It had the little pre-show, like the pre-game when it's loading up theme. It had all their like weapons on the hillside, and it was playing the song.
That one looks cool.
All right, that's all.
All right, continuing with spots number 9 through 7, Mr. Bo Mitchell, what are we looking at?
Yeah. My struggle was with deciding between 1 and 2. I already knew what I wanted 3 to be. You probably already know what one of mine's gonna be. if you saw a recent video that we did. But number 3 is going to be Sea of Stars.
Okay.
Oh man.
I wondered about this one. There was 2 that I was like, I bet they're gonna be on there, but are they too recent? So yeah, let's hear about it.
I have listened to this soundtrack so much. And I keep listening to it and it never gets old. And one thing I really love about this soundtrack, every single song has like tavern versions that they'll play in the taverns, which is super cool.
Nice.
And they use like
do that.
realistic instruments and it just sounds awesome. All of them are a jam. a couple shout outs songs I pulled it up here. Town of Mirth. Ooh, probably one of the best town themes I've ever heard in a game. It's really good. It's got like that chill vibe, but also like, feels homey, like a town theme should feel.
Yeah.
Super great stuff. Uh Also, uh Storm Calls for You. That is I won't say the boss's name because that's a spoiler, but it's a boss theme. And if you've played it, you know it because it's a bunch of like storm theme stuff. Super hype boss theme. It's incredible. I remember when Nolan was playing, he actually mentioned this song, and I was like, "Yes, that sounds so good."
It's a
And
banger.
then the other one, Lost Village of Dakari. Oof, that is a good theme.
Mhm.
It's got like similar vibes to um Final Fantasy X in it, which I think is part of why I like that soundtrack so much. And it's got a lot of the feel of Yasunari Matsuda music, and he actually wrote
Mm.
some songs for this game,
I
and
never
they're all
knew Matsuda
incredible.
was on that track.
They personally asked him to do it, and he hasn't composed for video games in a long time, and he is like, "Yes, I will do this for this game."
That's so very cool.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
It's excellent.
Absolutely. All right. And continuing in this 9 through 7 spot, my entry here, let me kind of give my philosophy behind why I'm picking mine. And it's because when I think about the best soundtracks in video games, for me, I'm not thinking about what am I downloading on Spotify and keeping in my rotation.
Yeah.
Although there are lots of soundtracks like that. But for me, the goal of the OST is to be able to elevate the gameplay. So I was looking at this and I was asking myself which games were elevated by the by the compositions. And for myself, and I kept it one entry per franchise because otherwise Zelda would have
Yeah, I
made
did
all
the
three
same
of my
thing actually.
spots here. So
Yeah.
I had to go with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I know this is one that a lot of
I had a
and
feeling you
it
might
I
put this
feel
here.
like and I feel like this shouldn't be controversial anymore. I know there was a time back in 2017 where that might have been, but we're far enough removed from there to kind of be able to sit back and say this really elevated the gameplay. Of course,
Yeah,
Zelda,
got a great soundtrack.
iconic. Oh yeah, iconic field themes throughout the games. You're do, or you're in a Ocarina of Time, or Twilight Princess. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. But in this game, instead of that bombastic, triumphant going out into the field theme, they drew it back a little bit, and
Mhm.
it's very
It's the feel of the
reflective.
game.
It's very reflective, and it kind of weaves in its own little tale of adventure as you listen through the loop, and it's so satisfying because it captures this feeling of getting lost but not being lost.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
actually, let me rephrase. It encapsulates wandering so well. Uh and you have that at the base level, but then you also have some of these banger tracks. You have the second that one of the my brain's not totally with me today, but the
That's okay.
oh, Guardians. That's it.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Guardian shows up
That's a
and
classic
it
theme.
causes
Yeah.
terror. And you have the best version of the old Dragon Roost Island theme brought back for the uh, uh, Wind Village. I'm not able to remember names of things today. I'm sorry,
Shadow
but
Village is really
uh,
good.
Hateno
That's one of
Village.
my
I mean,
favorites.
you go top to bottom, and even though it's not the kind of soundtrack that is uh like the other ones, you have the little touch points still. Like you go into Hyrule Castle, and you're getting the old Hyrule Castle theme, but you're getting it in a different way that makes sense for how you're exploring this castle now, and for how the malice has just overtaken and changed everything. So for
Yeah.
elevating this gameplay experience and making it a real whole package, that you take every theme from the previous games but you twist it in a way that makes it relevant for this story, was done on a higher level than I think any of the other titles were. Again, we're stacking all-time greats against all-time greats here, so it makes
Yeah.
it tricky. All right, let's continue now for spots 6 through 4. Let's send it back to Matthew.
All
What do you
right.
got for us?
You were just talking about, I was listening to it, how music elevates the experience. Well, I got a game for you that's all about the music, called Devil May Cry 5. Right? The moment I played this
Man,
game,
there's some bangers in that. I
the
love
first
that
like
soundtrack.
opening section, I was like, okay, this game's gonna be really good. If you ever played Devil May Cry 5, it's kind of like action, like over the top kind of beat 'em up. But the twist is, as you're fighting, the music gets louder and louder. As your score goes up and as your combo goes up, it starts getting like heavier music. And there's 3 different characters that you play as. They all have their own themes. It does the same thing. It gets louder and then it plays all that. A lot of good, like when it's not your theme playing, like just as you're going through the levels, a lot of like bassy stuff going, just like to like really get you pumped up. We also have some good like slow down ambient stuff as well. And just a note on the it's not really soundtrack. I guess it is. Would you count sound design as part of soundtrack? Because like the way the music fades in and out, like you'll finish like a
I
fight
think
scene.
it can be.
So like you'll finish a big fight and the music will be really going, and all of a sudden it like wraps up really well. It's your music's like it like fades out really clean.
The dynamic
Yeah, fade
endings.
cues.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
all
really
it's
cool.
just like the songs are really good, and then like it pairs really well with the action you're doing. So like as you're doing good, the music's getting louder. So then you get hit and it goes down. You're like, ah. Only problem is I don't really listen to them outside of it, because like all the songs with like words are like about like evil and demons in your heart and stuff. Like, eh.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But
I
they
don't-
sound cool.
yeah. It sounds exactly. And when I'm playing, I'm not really paying attention to the words. It just sounds cool. So, but yeah, that is
Fair
my number 2.
The main theme, like there's a bunch of different versions of it, and every time I love hearing it. Man, I really, really love the theme that plays in the post-game dungeon. I won't say the name, obviously. Man, just incredible blend of like rich orchestral music with like some operatic in there, and like French instruments, like a French feel. And it's just incredible stuff. Like, there's a reason that this soundtrack on YouTube has like over 1 million views already, and the game just came out. Like, yeah, I'd be very surprised if he didn't win Game of the Year for music. Like, yeah, incredible stuff. I was so tempted to put it in number 1, but then I listened to number 1 again, and I was like, man, I can't do it.
All right, and on that note, yes, I've got. I'm not even finished with the game yet. I've got probably 12 songs from the soundtrack in my Spotify right now. And I'm probably gonna end up removing them at some point because I just like to shuffle everything, and sometimes I'm just not in the mood for some songs. But yeah, incredible soundtrack. Yeah. And as I'm going into my next one here, that's why I like this way of doing things for us, where we're each picking 3, because we get such a variety and ideas here. Because for myself, I absolutely love the compositions. I love these songs. Playing through Clair Obscur, I almost don't like how it works in game a lot of times, but that's a discussion for another time. Because these soundtracks are still incredible, regardless. Amazing music. But for myself, there's a lot of times where I'm like, like I've walked into places like this music is like actually distracting me. Like it's fantastic. I love it, but it's so
I will
distracting.
say, yeah, and I said this in the review. There is multiple times where I just legitimately sit there and listen to the music instead of doing something,
Sure, I gotcha.
which is
I've done the
like,
same
yeah,
thing.
totally fair.
Yeah, absolutely. I For mine here in our 4 through 6 spot, I I'm going with the pick that I know a lot of people are wanting and a lot of people are really hoping doesn't show up here. Uh, Mine is Minecraft, the OST for
Ah,
The
Minecraft,
the
and
C418 version.
yes, the C418, aka Daniel Rosenfeld, and man,
great stuff. Pretty
what
iconic.
a soundtrack, what a achievement here. And again, it's not is it the highest level of writing? No, it's just major sevens, 9 chords. It's
Yeah,
about it. And
it's simple,
but
but it's like dreamscape almost.
it's exercised so well, and it takes
Yeah,
a lot from late 1800s, early 1900s composers. I mean, you take some of these tracks and they're almost like you can see where you kind of dragged over some themes and ideas from other famous compositions, but they work so well. And what you have to work with in Minecraft is you, what do you do if you're flying? Are you going to be taken off playing your triumphant soaring through the air kind of music? What about all these different biomes? If you want to have a different theme for each biome, and you're wandering into these biomes, some of them you go through so fast that if you're flying by in creative mode or whatever, is it just going to switch over on a dime every 7 seconds as you hit these
yeah,
different themes? So instead of going that route, they kind of went for something that really encapsulates the feeling of loneliness and nostalgia in this weird mix where a lot of times people think of nostalgia as only rose tint, but if you sat in your nostalgia for something, you know that there is both cold and warm feelings to it. And Minecraft captures that so well in a game that in a way that very few things have, and it makes the perfect backing for wandering through a world where you it it's I've heard it described somewhere before. I wish I could remember who said it. But I heard described as it sounds like music from a place that you can never go back to. Uh, like a place
Hmm.
you got lost in a dream, and then you'll never find your
yeah,
way back. Uh, it sets the mood for your adventure, whatever that adventure might be, which is incredibly difficult to do when you have such a variety of play styles coming into the sandbox world. So that's why I've got Minecraft there to round off our 4 through 6 spots there. So before we move into spots 1 through 3, we're going to hit some honorable mentions here. I'm just going to go down the list and you can raise your hand if you want to talk about what you added to the list here. We've got first Sonic CD.
All right, there's two versions of the soundtrack. There's a U.S. version and the rest of the world version, right? We can throw that rest of the world version out. That thing, it's still good, it's still Sonic soundtrack, but the real good is despite what you read online, the U.S. version. Got some really good tracks. It's got the Sonic Boom song everybody loves. It's got each level has 3 different tracks that like kind of are a different variation of the same song as you have the present, the good future, and the bad future. Uh, really good soundtrack. My favorite Sonic soundtrack, personally.
All right. We've also got Resident Evil, the original. We've also got
man. That's me.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
The save theme music. If you've never heard it, holy cow. What an incredible song. Like, I don't know what it is about that song, but I can listen to it over and over again just on repeat. And I have. The rest of the soundtrack, there's some pretty good stuff in there, but that particular one, I just had to give it a shout out because it's like, yes, it's chill and like somehow haunting at the same time, which is cool. And they did that on PS1, and the remake version sounds even better. So, pretty cool.
All right. Another honorable mentions in here. We have Ocarina of Time, we have the Wind Waker, we have Sonic 3. Oh, you go ahead, talk about Wind Waker.
Oh, I thought we were just raising.
Oh no, raise
I did not
raise
listen
your
to directions very well.
no,
Apparently.
just raise your hand if you have anything to say about it.
I'll give a little bit. Yeah,
Go for it.
This was my first Legend of Zelda game I actually owned. For a long time before I played another one. It was my favorite. And man, all of the tracks are great. There's a reason that they brought back Dragon Roost Island theme in Breath of the Wild. That theme is great. And there's a lot of good ones like the Mulgara theme. Oh man, so many good ones. Anyway.
All right. We've got Sonic 3, Mega Man 2, Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2, which it hurt my heart not to put this
I
on
was
the
doing
list,
it,
but I couldn't
Those are
do
great.
it.
I just couldn't justify it because I feel like the two, like there's really good ones and there's ones that are just kind of like, eh. So it was hard to like put it on top just on those really good ones.
Well, for me, I think that the entire thing is all bangers all the way through. The thing is, I feel
That's
like
really
Donkey
good,
Kong
yeah.
Country 1 or 2, whichever one you as an individual go with, everybody's got it on their top 10. I don't think anybody has it in their top 3. And I think that's
Yeah.
how we got to where we are here, that it didn't end up making the list. So it hurts my heart not seeing it on there. But
That's tough.
it's getting recognition nonetheless. We've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and this is one where if I was just going off of best music in video games, would probably be my number one. Like best music to come out of video games. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth would have been in there. I mean, there's a good chance Claire Obscure would be making my list for that same kind of thing when I'm actually finished with the game. There's a handful of things there, but man, the way that Final Fantasy VII to me was a top 3 Final Fantasy soundtrack before Rebirth came out. But then when Rebirth came out and reimagined all of these themes, it got me so good.
And it won the award for it that year.
And I feel like rightfully so. I mean, they were my vote.
Yeah. It was really good
for that. And then somehow RuneScape is on this list.
Yeah, it's a great soundtrack. RuneScape, old school, the old school RuneScape. Go listen to it if you haven't.
All right, and with that,
anyway,
it really
remember
is.
that you can.
People love that soundtrack.
Remember that you can comment below with your vote for the greatest video game soundtrack of all time to make the number 10 in our spot. We'll pin the comments that have the most likes as things keep going. But for now,
we might roast your pick. Sorry.
Numbers
3 through 1, in no particular order. Matthew, let's have you go first.
Oh, earlier you were talking about French people, right?
Yeah.
Well, how about now we talk about the number 1 Frenchman, Yoko Taro, by way of Keiichi Okabe, Nier Automata. My favorite.
I thought somehow Daft Punk had created a soundtrack I didn't know about.
That'd be crazy, man.
Nightclub City.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I'm surprised they haven't done a video game. I feel like they could.
They did DJ Hero, or they did songs for it. I guess they didn't make them. It was just theirs.
That's true.
But Nier Automata for me was my easy number 1. It's a hood classic.
That's a good soundtrack.
I think it's the GOAT. I don't think there's even like a meh sound like song in the whole track. They have dynamic versions of each one. They have I don't know if it's 8-bit or 16-bit. I think it's 8-bit. They have an 8-bit version of each song for when you're hacking. It'll like seamlessly transition to the 8-bit version and back. The visuals and the dialogue are one half of the scene, and then the music is the other. Like it is essential to have for the way the game ends up going. And they have really good songs. The amusement park theme, A Beautiful Song, is highly regarded. One of my favorites is Sound of the End. Pascal, or the Village theme, I don't know what it's called. That one's really good as well.
Yeah.
It's just like
good one.
Good song after good song. Like the entire your first playthrough, man. It's like I think I was like the 3rd song in. And I was looking up the soundtrack already, and then I spoiled the game for myself. Good times
with the soundtrack.
Yep, because they like to make the title like X
Oh,
X
yeah,
event
but-
happens. It's like, oh, come on, man.
I think if they weren't divided between the different entries, I think Nier could possibly be like the number one most common number one, but it gets split so often between Nier Automata, Nier Replicant,
Yeah.
that but you see them in so many top fives, more than I think anything else at this point, outside of the Zelda and Final Fantasy franchises.
Yeah.
All right, keeping up the momentum here. Well, what have you got?
Speaking of Zelda, I had to live up to my name. I couldn't leave it off. It's still one of my favorite Legend of Zelda games of all time, Twilight Princess.
I had it on my considering list.
Let's go.
That was the only one that I've ever played a lot of.
Man, I was listening through it again. I remembered it was good, but like listening through it again, like this last week and yesterday, especially, I listened through all of it. Man, absolutely incredible soundtrack. You've got Ordon Village,
Mm.
absolute great village theme. You've got the field theme. The Hyrule Castle theme in this game is especially really good.
Man, yes.
Man, the whole thing is just, and I really like the Gerudo Desert theme. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's so like subdued compared to like other ones." I think it smashes. It's so good.
Mm.
Oh man, yeah, Castle in the Sky, another great one.
I could never figure out how to get there.
You gotta shoot yourself in the cannon.
I didn't know that, man. I just gave up. I was the furthest along at one point.
And then he got to Snow Peak Ruins.
No, I beat it, and then I couldn't figure out how to get to the sky.
Biggest shout out I have to give to that then though. If you haven't heard it, the orchestral theme for that game, I think it's in the is it in the opening like movie for the game, I think. I think it might be. Anyway, if you haven't heard it,
It's been a
probably one of the best orchestrated themes ever created for a video game.
while. Mhm.
It's crazy good. Yeah, it's a shame that more people haven't heard it, but that is probably like one of my favorite songs ever composed for a video game. It's so good.
Amazing. It's that was one that I was going back and forth between for the Zelda spot here. It was between, realistically, it was between Wind Waker,
Yep.
I mean Wind Waker, Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, and of course Breath of the Wild. You talk to me on certain days, and I'll pick one of those other ones probably. But
Yeah.
man, what an excellent soundtrack.
Had to put it at number one. Had to live up to my name.
So my number one here,
Had to rep your boy Luigi.
I'm going to go against everything I've said up to this point, and I'm saying that my number one video game soundtrack of all time is Persona 5 Royal.
I was tempted to put this one on here too.
Man, here's the
And I
the
didn't
thing.
do
You
an
wanna
honorable
talk-
mention because I knew you'd probably put it on your list.
Here's the yes, yeah. As soon as it was not in the honorable mentions, I think everybody knew that it was my number one. Man, you this game can't be overstated. First of all, they invented jazz. I don't know if anyone knows, but jazz did not exist until 2017 when Persona 5 came out, and it was perfected in
It's not accurate.
jazz. Very new platform. It used to just be classical and pop. Now it's classical, pop, and Persona music. Anyways, well, I'm done getting people riled up and mad at me. Man, what a banger soundtrack. And again,
Yeah.
elevating the
So good.
experience. It is to me the perfect example of how style can really tie a theme
Yeah.
together. You have the theme of the Phantom Thieves through this game, and how it's like it's a little bit Bondy, it's a little bit yeah, I'm trying to think of what words to kind of throw around for this without
Yeah,
like going
it's got like
overboard
Secret
with
Agent
it.
vibes.
But like yeah, and it's very there's a very like romanticized version of like being these real life kind of sleek edgy pirate kind of people going in and stealing hearts and more. And the way the soundtrack ties things together for that is incredible. Like you just have to listen to Get Up, Get Out There. And that's enough. Like the title track or the opening track that plays as you start up the game is pretty sweet as well. But it's that, and then you get to these life sims sections, and it's how well these fit the soundtrack to my life. Like when
I
I'm
remember
doing
the first time I turned on that game and I just listened to Beneath the Mask, like the rain
Yes.
theme, where for hours it felt like so good.
I love it. And throughout, I mean, and even just like the walking through the city kind of stuff, it's they stylistically nail each thing to where I'm like, this perfectly fits within the themes that you're going for as a game, as well as the theme, like the emotional themes, the storytelling themes, but then also the theme of the Phantom Thieves, and the style that brings to it. They nailed it at all fronts. So that's why they're
Yeah.
my number one. Man, a whole list of bangers here. Let us know, what do you think is number one, and maybe you can claim that number 10 spot on our list and correct an injustice that we might have committed here. But that's going to be it for today. Again, I'm Super Nolan Man. Joining me has been Matthew Hot Dog Eater and the Hyrule King Bo Mitchell. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more, click subscribe. Until next time, we'll be right here.